The Youth Outreach Program, we've been in existence since 1989. We are a collaboration between Hawai'i and Waikiki Health. So those two agencies came together in the late 80s and recognized that there was a need for homeless youth that wasn't being fulfilled. And so they came together and formed the Youth Outreach Program, also known as YO House, YO Project. And we are not a licensed shelter. We are simply a drop-in center, which allows the youth to come in off the streets for a few hours, kind of get a respite from the streets. We prefer to say that we take care of their basic needs first. We want to keep them alive, let them get some rest, let them start to build a rapport with trusting adults, and when they're ready, it's all on their pace, start to make some changes in their life. It's definitely youth guided. We follow the positive youth development model, in which it really is everything's on their pace, and it has to be in a secure, trusting, loving environment that they feel safe. On a really slow day, we see about 20-25 kids, and on a really jumping day, it's mid-40s, upper 50s. It's a very tiny house, so if you can imagine 20 to 30 teenagers in your house 3 days a week, there's always plenty of work to do in kind of getting the drop-in center right. It's for only a first name and a last initial. If they're willing to give it to us, we ask for a date of birth, and we also ask for how they identify ethnically. That's important for funding purposes. We want to demonstrate that we do serve a high number of Native Hawaiians here. So initially they come in. If their name is Bubba, be Bubba every time you come in. That helps us. As we start to build that rapport, we build that relationship with them, they kind of figure out that, okay, these people, the staff is pretty safe and this is a safe place. They're going to start to ask for help. Like, okay, I'm thinking about maybe I want to get a job. Okay, I need a safe place to store my belongings. So that's when we know that we've kind of engaged them, and that's when we'll do an intake with them. And so the intake is first name, last name, any of the demographic information that they want to give us as far as like how long they've been on the streets, what's their trauma, what are their goals, any mental illness, any substance use, any sexual trauma, anything that they want to share with us, we try and capture it at that time. Once they've done an intake with us, it kind of opens up a lot of doors for them. They're able to get a locker and store their belongings. They're allowed to be transported by staff if they're 18 and over. If they're a minor, we still need parental consent, which again can be a barrier. They can also be employed with us. They can enroll in our education program. So getting that initial intake done. We've had kids who've been with us for a number of years who we only know their first name, and that's okay. How to communicate with the supervisor, and all skills that we can help them build in their first employment opportunity, and they have something that they can put on their resume. Some of our youth have work. They work part-time jobs here and there, and one of the things that we do is just kind of help connect them to appropriate employment opportunities. There's a big job fair this week. We advertise it. We give the youth a chance to come in, get cleaned up. We offer business type aloha shirts, clothes that's appropriate for an interview, how to dress. We do a lot of mock interview prep, how to shake hands, what to say, how to answer certain questions an employer's going to ask you. If you ask a kid who's been on the streets for a while, like, what do you think your strengths are? They might not have a lot that they think that they could pull from. And so we kind of coach them and help prep them for those kind of things that they're going to face. We serve youth up until the age of 22. On their 22nd birthday, we offer them an opportunity to do a 6-month extension. So if they have some goals that they're working towards, whether it's employment, education, housing, we will give them a 6-month extension. But at the end of that 6 months, we hope that they're on their feet, they're employed, they don't need us anymore. And in some cases, that's not necessarily the case. So another component of the Youth Outreach Program is the street outreach. So 5 nights, 5 days a week, we actually pack a backpack filled with juice, snacks, hygiene supplies, condoms, first aid, and we hit the streets. We go into the different encampments, we go to areas where we think a lot of the teens might be hanging out. So the beaches, the parks, the wall, Waikiki, different encampments all over. Or sometimes people in the community will call us and say, hey, you know, there's these kids under a bridge in this area, you guys come check it out. So then we go. Most importantly, if we're able to engage them in the streets, they're a lot more up to kind of like talking about what's really going on. There are some youth who we only see at the drop-in center that we never encounter in the streets, and vice versa. There's some youth that we only engage in the streets that never come in. And so you have to kind of try and work both sides of that. For us, one of the major ways that we're able to engage our youth is through food. And so we've had a number of different school programs kind of adopt us for a month. Maybe they do a drive, they bring in, you know, granola bars, you know, snack food that kids can like, and that's also, they can carry in their backpack for a day or two.